Hey guys, welcome to the channel.
Hey. Oh.
How are you doing?
Battery's
We're gonna
dead.
talk about our dog. You
Thurman.
better believe it. Big time. Intro 2. Intro third take. It's happening. You ready for some high energy? You ready to be annoyed AF because of me being way too high energy?
I'm
Because this is how
annoying.
you make YouTube videos. Bam!
Okay.
Bam!
Okay.
Bam!
Oh my god. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I thought this video we could tell you what Thurman is and kind of explain a little bit of why we got him, how we got him, some of his fun little quirks, and just let you know why he's such a good dog. So speaking of, he is right by our feet. So let's start with why we got him
And how?
and how. The why.
Why was Finn's birthday, our cat.
Yes.
He's 4. And we wanted to get him on his birthday some toys, so we went to PetSmart.
And it just so happened to be like Adopt a Dog Day, right?
You know, where PetSmart has like the first Saturday of the month or something like that. They have dogs outside from a local shelter that you can adopt.
And so we were just looking at the dogs. We really liked this one Cavalier. She was older.
And Cavaliers get along great with cats.
And we wanted an older dog to kind of like live out its final years, like in peace, like
Low maintenance,
Yeah.
but not have to live its last few years in a shelter. But we'd be able to give it lots of loves, but it wouldn't be like crazy amount of work while I'm at school and work
and
all
while
day.
I'm working. But it was paired with a beagle, and I guess beagles aren't very good with kids, and we didn't want.
Need 2 dogs.
Yeah, we didn't want nor need 2 dogs.
We didn't even go out to get a dog, let alone 2. So that kind of seemed outlandish.
Yeah, so we still were kind of interested, and so there was a shelter right down a rescue right down the road from where we were. We kind of just looked up animal rescues and found the closest one, and so we went there, just browsing. You know, we weren't thinking we were going to
concrete on getting.
get a dog that very day or anything. We were just seeing what our options were. We went to the rescue and we looked at the cats because they had cats on one side, dogs on the other. We wanted to start with looking at the cats and just seeing what they had. And then we made our way around to the dog area, and we started looking at the dogs and seeing what our options were again. Thurman is playing with his dog cousin,
Press.
Prez.
His little cotton ball Pomeranian thing. Anyway, we looked and Thurman had no information about him. I don't even know if we knew his name on the first day.
Nope.
But he looks like an old man, and we were like, oh, we really want this dog, and they told us that he wasn't ready yet. But they wouldn't tell us why he wasn't ready. They said they didn't know. We couldn't spend time with him. So we got, we were a little sad about that. So we went to a couple other shelters, saw some other dogs, but didn't really find any dog that we were like
No,
obsessed about.
They brought us through like all the cages and stuff with the dogs. We went out to the back where dogs are playing and meeting other people. We did see this one dog. His name was Murphy.
Murph.
And
He looked like a tiny little pit bull. Tiny.
he was like reddish, that color, red.
But he was so small.
Yeah, he was super small, and he didn't really warm up the Tanner, but like he kept coming around
Must have
me.
had like an abusive dude in his life at some point, and
Maybe, but so I mean, like I kept giving him treats, and he would like come towards me.
I
but
liked
he was,
him. That you didn't like, that he didn't like me as much.
Yeah, and he was very skittish, and like I didn't know like if he would ever not be so skittish or timid and come out of his shell. And we like to have friends over, so we didn't know how he would react, or how long it would take him to open up, you know?
So we didn't get him, we went home.
So we
pretty much looked at each other, and we both asked each other if we were still thinking about Thurman, and the answer was yes. So we went back and visited him again that day. And then on that day, we got his name.
Yep, we got his name, and they just said he might have had an injury or something going on.
That wasn't until like the next day. Like we didn't find, every day we went, we got a little bit more information. On the first day, we found out that he was there.
Except
the second day, we found out his name. On the third day, we came back again on the third day, and we found out that he had a leg injury. He was picked up outside of county with a broken leg, and then on finally the day before we picked him up, on the fourth day, because we just kept going back and visiting
and
him.
we brought London one of the times, so he could see her, she could see him. Yeah. So we brought her, everything went well. Obviously we couldn't interact with him.
Oh, hey, come on, come on, oh God. Come on.
Up. Wow.
Come on. Oh. Ah. So, on the day before we adopted him, we finally found out that he was 2 and not like 9 or 8.
Yeah.
But at that point, we'd already fallen in love with him, so we were hook, line, and sinker. There's not a lot we could do. And this was all right before the pandemic and the first quarantine happened.
Yeah.
This was like mid. This must have been early March.
Yeah.
Early March, yeah.
It was like the first week of March, and I was at work, and then so the last day we got to see him, he was actually outside in the back, like
we got to
the
hang out with
volunteers
him.
were playing with him, and they're like, hey, you can come on back, and we got to see him like play, roll around, and just like be able to run around rather than just seeing him in this little box almost, and like.
He's a big goofball.
Yeah, he was such a big goofball. He was so cute, and we were just like, yes, like when...
He's not at all agile.
We were like, when can we get him? And the lady was like, well, tomorrow he'll be available. It's first come, first serve. We open at 11. So 10. Of course, I had to work, so I was really bummed out. But of course, like I was so excited because he didn't have to work. He didn't have school either, so he was able to go.
I got there like 15, 20 minutes early in the pouring rain.
Yeah, it was raining
hoping
that day.
that no one else was going to show up, like scanning, like paranoid, making sure that there was no one else there. Because they told us the day before that there was one other guy that was interested in him. Yeah. And they said that first come, first serve, but if you get there at the same time before they open, then they draw straws. And I did not want to draw straws.
No. So like a half an hour goes by, and I check my phone, and he got him, and you brought him home, right?
We brought him home, let him explore for a little bit. I brought him home, let him explore for a little bit, kind of see his new digs. He made himself at home like instantly. And then after he kind of got the lay of the land, 15 minutes, took him to PetSmart, got food for him, got a couple toys. He got to pick out his own bed.
But the day before, I was so anxious and excited. We actually got him a backpack with a leash. We call it a backpack.
Yeah, that's true. We got him a little thing, and it was way too small.
It was. But at least you had something.
Yeah.
At first.
To take him in, yeah. We got him a medium. It was way too small. He needed a large because he's like a 60-pound bubbas. And I'm so sorry. I'm so itchy. I'm allergic to our cat and our dog. And
you were playing with them all night.
Yeah, and our cat.
Hold on.
Our cat makes my eyes red. And oh, here he comes. Come on. Come here. Stinker.
Oh, is that your baby?
This is his favorite monkey.
Second monkey.
Yeah, he went through the first one. There's only one brand of toys that actually lasts longer than a day.
The tough toys. If you have a big dog, tough toys.
Yeah, and even those will still
break it, but not
eventually.
Yeah, not as fast. So we got him. You brought him to my work so I could meet him and see him.
Oh yeah, on your lunch break.
Yep.
So after we got his food, treats, all that kind of stuff, we took her over to her work on her lunch break. She got to see him in the pouring rain. He was super lovable.
Oh yeah, I got to give him a treat.
Yeah, like an apple bacon thing.
Yeah. And then I had to finish up my work day. Actually, I think you had to go to work.
Very.
So
very
he was
possible.
home. Thurman was home for the first time by himself, new home, and with his brother Finn for I want to say at least an hour, if that. Because I got up
Oh
at
yeah,
5,
we were
I
worried
think.
that like something between them could happen.
Yeah, and so I got home and I was just hanging out with him, and I'm like, I've never owned a dog, so I didn't really know what I was doing. I grew up with 7 cats, so I'm like, Tanner, like hurry home, like I don't know what I'm doing, like are we letting him be on the couch or are we not? Like
I've always had dogs.
yeah, so
at
you
least
definitely
a
knew what
dog.
you were doing.
I've always had a dog, and I've trained them myself.
Hi, buds.
They've always been good boys and girls. Oh God, he thinks he's
Oh my lord.
So,
So that's
how we got
and
him.
how we got him.
That's why and how we got him. We did not plan to get a dog, but I will say he's the best boy. Please adopt, don't shop, because every time you shop for a dog, they're gonna make another one. They're gonna make 2 dogs, make more dogs. But if you adopt a dog, there's plenty out there to choose from. You don't need a $6,000 designer dog. That's absurd. They're not purses, and they're good.
But
Oh God. And they're good guys for the most part, other than mashing your genitals all the time because they think they don't weigh anything. What are you doing?
And so we started taking him to the dog park, like right behind us. Well, it's a park, but like everybody who lives around there brings their dogs, and so he has some new friends now.
He's got all kinds of friends until it got too hot because we live in Arizona and it's like
Oh my God.
115, 116 some days, so we can't take him. Really? Oh no.
Okay, but sit.
Hey,
Good boy. No.
off. Good boy.
So he has doggy friends, and everybody was asking us, like, what is he? Like, what kind of dog is he? And we're like, we don't know. He's a mutt of some sort. And so someone told us we should get him DNA tested.
I searched online. I researched everything all the time, and
So it took us a while.
I always thought he was like half pit bull, half Labrador, because I looked all the dogs that I saw that looked very similar to him looked like half Labrador, half pit bulls, and I just assumed he was like a long hair pit bull mixed with a Labrador, or like a long hair Labrador mixed with a pit bull. I don't know. But finally, after a while, we got him an online test.
Yep, it took us a little while to get it.
It kept taking longer and longer, and it said, and they kept emailing us being like, more complicated dog breeds take longer than easy dog breeds.
Yeah.
So every time we got that email, we knew he was more and more and more complicated than we had originally thought.
And so it took over, I would say, like a month and a half to even get his results
over a month
back.
and a half, yeah.
We were by that point, we were kind of like, is it coming? Is it not? Did I mess up on doing the swab test? Or I don't know, like, I was just
They would have told us if it was unreadable. I think it was just
Yeah,
super complicated.
It kept saying processing, and then it finally said analyzing. So I'm like, okay, we're making progress. And then the one morning I woke up to an email, and it said Thurman's DNA results are ready. His breed is ready to view on the website. And so I was like, Tanner, like, get up, like, we get to know what he is.
It told us like the night or 2 nights before that he might go blind eventually, which is so. And we thought that was the result, so we were super pumped.
Yeah, well, it said health results ready, but like I saw.
We just thought it was ready.
Yeah,
we got an email.
I thought everything was there, and I was freaking out, and then I was like, oh, it's just the health results, and it didn't say what breed he is.
He might go blind one day, which is like most dogs might go blind one day.
Right, so, and like. I was thinking like, oh, he's gonna like have hip problems or things like that, but
another good reason to have mutts, because they have the fewest health risks, because they're not just constantly mating with their relatives. In the kindest way possible to put that.
Yes, and so what was your guess on it? You said he was
I thought he was a half Labrador, half Pit Bull, but every time they said it took longer, I was just like, oh man, I'm probably wrong now.
Yeah, I have no idea. I just knew like he was one of a kind. I've never really seen a dog.
Anywhere we take him, everyone says he's so handsome. We've never seen a dog that looks like him before. He has people eyes, he has human eyes.
Everybody says he looks like the dog from Lady and the Tramp, which I never.
I don't hear
I've heard a handful of people.
No one's ever told me that. Never.
Even my mom said that.
That's one person.
Okay.
As one person.
But
I take him for hour-long walks every morning and every night before it got hot, and no one ever said that to me. That's just me, though. I'm sure it happened.
Many of people have said it to me, and I never really saw that. But yeah. And so.
Is that everything? Is that everything before we delve into the?
No. He is the greatest dog ever. He acts like a cat. He'll sleep all day long. He doesn't bark to get us up in the morning.
He has 2 modes. He's either up or he's down. He's not ever just medium. He's either 100% go, or he's like, I will sleep until 1.
Or I'm sleeping on my back all day long.
Which we don't like to sleep till 1 all the time, but I'm sure some of you have gone quarantine crazy and slight, I don't want to say quarantine depression, but quarantine lows. Can we coin that? Quarantine lows.
We definitely
slept more than we
became best friends with the bed.
Yeah, it was tough. Yeah. But so did he, which was nice. He wasn't like, you've seen videos of huskies where they like wake you up with heart palpitations.
No, we have to wake him up.
As soon as I'm up, he's up.
Well, yeah, he's a daddy's boy for sure.
As soon as I'm up, he follows me everywhere. He loves mom.
He does, but loves dad a lot.
But he's conjoined at the hip.
But he doesn't bark unless someone's at our front door. Like, we have dogs surrounding our house.
Yeah, if we take him for a walk and he meets a stranger, he's super nice. But if a stranger comes to our front door, he's very protective.
Yep. He doesn't drool, which is awesome.
No. He sheds a ton.
He sheds a lot.
Which everyone said he wouldn't because
he loves the pool. He loves swimming.
He loves to swim. That's
even
where he gets most of his...
without throwing him a toy in the pool now, he'll like jump in.
That's where he gets most of his exercise now that it's so hot.
Yeah.
And we tried to get him to play fetch. He'll fetch a frisbee sometimes, but he's
not very...
He's a tug-of-war kind of dude.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all he does is tug-of-war, and he will go until he passes out, I would say.
Oh, yeah. Or unless we get tired.
Which happens...
often.
99 out of 100 times that happens first, is we get tired before him.
Yeah.
We try and throw his stuff upstairs.
Oh yeah, we have stairs, so he'll run up and down most of the time. We'll throw it up there and make him go up and get it. And he'll run back down, skip a few steps, and
waiting for him to fall. He hasn't fallen yet.
No, he's tripped a few times though.
No tumbles though.
No tumbles, which is great.
Yeah.
So.
But he's not the most graceful dog. He is fast, but he cannot cut a rug.
He's not very athletic.
I would say he is.
Well,
he's more of a football player than a ballerina.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So 10% Supermutt,
which includes
Lakeland Terrier,
a Cavalier King Charles, which
Spaniel,
is what we looked at.
which is my parents have one of those dogs. Her name is Roxy, and she's
sweet.
Easily one of the best dogs I've ever met in my entire life. She's awesome. So that's pretty rad. Very strange though, because they get up to like, if they're overweight, I think they could maybe get up to like 25 pounds, and That's like if they're fat.
Oh yeah, Thurman is 58 pounds.
He's 58 pounds right now during quarantine because he doesn't get as much exercise.
But
when
we
he
bought
gets
him
more,
bought him. We rescued him at like 49, right?
no, he was like
Oh.
50 something. He was a low 50 when we got him, and then we put muscle on him right away because he was going for walks and playing tug of war and having all kinds of exercise all the time. We got him probably right up about 60, and then he lost a couple pounds because he's not the kind of dog that just eats all day. I mean, we fill his bowl when it's empty, and he doesn't get fat, he doesn't gain weight.
Yeah.
He doesn't look for food as a sense of endorphin rush. He just eats when he's hungry. So that's. Oh, and the last thing is
Do it for the Supermutt.
Neapolitan Mastiff, which
And Mastiffs are big dogs.
they are big dogs typically. I don't know what a Neapolitan is. I don't know if that means he's like chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla Mastiff.
Ooh.
So maybe that means
That
like
sounds
maybe that's like a multicolored kind. I would, if I'm using my deductive reasoning, I would think that
Like a calico cat almost.
yeah,
That's
like that
yeah.
kind of, not a solid color.
Yeah.
That would be my assumption.
And then he is 4.5 German Shepherd dog.
4% 5. But that's probably where part of his roughness of his hair comes from, because his hair is really wiry, but it's also
Yeah.
not straight. But we'll get into that a little more. But he is definitely very loyal. He's smart. He
Super
plays.
smart.
He's super good at playing dumb, but we know better.
Yeah.
He is 6.8% Bullmastiff.
7.8% Miniature Schnauzer.
But
What?
that's the thing, is people always think that miniature schnauzer means like really, really tiny, but that's like a teacup schnauzer.
Yeah.
Miniature schnauzers are still actually pretty decent size, because a lot of people don't realize that regular schnauzers are pretty decent sized dogs. They can get,
Yeah, I've always pictured like the small little.
Yeah, so that's probably where he gets some of his hair quality from, is from the miniature schnauzer as well.
Oh yeah.
He's 8.5% American Staffordshire Terrier, which you can't look at him and not think he has some terrier.
Oh, for sure.
So
Yeah, I definitely thought he had a lot of Terrier in him, for sure.
totes.
But
Also,
17% Australian cattle dog, which is pretty cool.
he's 17% Australian cattle dog. That was more English. Cattle dog.
Which
Cattle dog.
means
He's not much of a herder, but
he might if you put a sheep in front of him.
we've never tried. That could, Tanner for the half win, you could say, is he's 45.4% American Pit Bull Terrier.
So there's the pit bull.
You can't look at his face and not think he is some part pit bull. They have the sweetest faces that you can just swim in their eyes.
Oh yeah.
And I saw pit bull right away. And a lot of people didn't think he was pit bull because they think he's so sweet looking. But honestly, pit bulls are really, really sweet dogs, and they get a bad rap because of things that bad people do to them. But another side note is, though, pit bulls do have the same body type as Thurman.
That's true.
A lot of people think that a bully, an American bully,
Like the small,
well,
stout.
husky. They're short and they're very, very stout, is a great way to
Huskies
put
are
it. They're strong, and they're meaty, but they're lower to the ground, more like a bulldog, but they look like pit bulls. But a lot of people think that they're the same thing, and they are not the same thing. So a lot of times if you think of pit bull, you're actually thinking of American bully, when in fact, a pit bull, they do have regular sized legs, they do have regular sized muscles. Yes, they're more muscular than some other dog breeds, but they're not like roided out. Thurman, 45.4% American Pit Bull Terrier. So that's why that's why I thought, and I was probably thinking that myself too, and that's why I thought he was probably part lab.
Mm-hmm. I would have said he was more part lab than pit bull, but I never thought I would own a dog that is 45.4% American Pit Bull.
I thought that, right?
But
I thought it was half. I thought it was more. I thought he was 4.6% more than that. But
we are head over heels in love with him.
he's the best boy. He's a good bubbas.
He's a good bubbas. He has many nicknames.
Squirm.
Bubbas, Squirm, Squirmy, Thurmy.
Squirmesius.
Squirmesius.
Squirmesius and Bob, which if any of you know Prometheus and Bob, that's where that comes from, because I am actually a huge nerd. Young Thurm is what's on his tag, but that was when we first got him and before we actually came up. If we're gonna make a new tag, it would definitely say Squirm on it.
Squirm, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a tattoo that says Thurm.
Squirm and Thurman.
Squirm and Thurman.
But we'll show you if you do go through Embark. We went through Embark. We definitely liked, it took a little longer than we thought, but we don't blame them at all.
No.
He's obviously a mutt, and like the fact that they could even find out what the
With
trace
one
breeds,
swab.
what the trace breeds of the 10% Supermutt were, I give them a thumbs up for sure, and it's well worth the wait. Not only because is it fun to know what your dog is, but it does, like we said, give you health risk factors and stuff like that.
Oh
It's a lot
yeah, it
easier to
educates
know
you on more than just what your breed
what
is.
to look
like,
out for.
Yeah.
So you know what it looks like. This is him in all of his glory. Can they see that?
Yep.
And then, so here's the fun stuff like his wolfiness, his, what does that say? Halotype?
Yeah, I don't know.
Haplotype? I can't read it backwards and through the paper.
But they tell you so much stuff on there.
Yeah, this is just the certificate. There's also, like, it tells you relatives were 10% or less related, but they said it was the equivalent of a human's first cousin.
Yeah.
So that's still pretty close, I'd say.
None of them look like him.
We thought he was 2. He says he's like approximately 3
Between
though.
2 and closer to 3, I want to say.
No, yeah, they said he was like 28 in human years or something like that, and 3 in dog years, but they can't give you the exact, because he's not a tree. We can't just cut him open and count the rings. Not that we would do that anyway.
No. But he's
It's part of the tale is all.
he's 2 to 3. But he literally looks like he's 8.
He's very vocal, like a husky. He does the... He loves when I play the harmonica too. He sings.
Oh yeah, he sings.
He's a big time singer.
Okay.
My sister's gonna grab a harmonica. Oh, I thought she was going to. Maybe she's not.
Yeah, she is. You can do it.
One of my best friends and her fiance is away on a business trip right now, so she's been kind of hanging out with us. So
Then our house guest and her dog Prez.
Her marshmallow Prez.
Thurman's cousin.
So she's kind of been bopping around the background doing her own thing, but she's gonna go bring a harmonica, the black one. Our first little fun trivia fact, our first date ever was at the Music Museum in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Yep.
And so I bought both of us harmonicas.
Brad's gonna freak out.
Is there, before this happens, is there anything else that they need to know? Because it gets wild.
No. Just that I love Thurman so much.
We love him so much. All right, scoot over a little bit so he can squeeze in here. Thurman, come on.
Come on, buddy.
Up. Good boy. You ready? Hey, sit.
On Mom. He always sits on me.
Too late for him to sing, but we have a video of him singing.
Okay, I can put it in there.
Put that in. So that is Thurm and how he became part of our family.
Squirm.
He gets along great with our 6-year-old. So if you want a dog, oh yeah, I did want to talk about that.
Okay.
If you want a new dog, please try a shelter. The great thing about a shelter is you can hang out with them, see how they react to your family. If you have kids, you can bring them there and make sure that they're good to mesh with your family, whether they're small kids or teenagers or whatever. And we got Thurman, like we said, they told us he was around 2, they didn't know exactly, but he was perfect. He was already potty trained, he had a lot of funny quirks. I would never, that was one of the best decisions of my life.
Totally.
Proposing to you, getting the dog, little Squirmesius,
Little squirm, squirm.
Pretty good decisions there. I'd say easily in my top 5.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. But if you have any comments, questions, there's literally a comment section down below.
If you have questions for us.
If you have questions, you can throw them down there too. Hopefully we can have links to other videos and such. I don't know how this works. This is her thing, not mine. I'm just here for the moment.
Yes, you can see my other videos. And then I will put my social medias.
If you want to see him jumping into my arms as soon as I get home.
I'll do that.
Watch the Bake With Me video.
Bake With Me.
Because it's in there. It is in there.
It is.
If you want to see Thurman jump into my arms as soon as I get home, watch the Bake With Me video. He is 60 pounds almost, and he got hops. Like I said, not agile, but strong, powerful. And he got hops. He got hops.
Yeah.
Just like his old man. Anyway,
alright, guys.
You have a beautiful rest of your... I don't know if you're watching this in the morning. Hopefully it's not 4 a.m., but if it is, I've been there before. And if this was like the 20th video you've seen in a row, like and subscribe, but go to bed. But go to bed at some point because you got stuff to do tomorrow. This is Arlia's dog. He's a good boy. He's a good boy.
Yeah. Ooh, he smells good.
Not his breath.
Yo, squirm. Come here.
And back under.
Scorpion.
You're gonna freak him out. Remember the time he jumped into your arms and you dropped him?
I didn't drop him. Up. Sit. Squirm.